For future reference, Hamish, this angle is very good. Yes. Sometimes I stand a little bit beyond ourselves and watch as scattered lights through the trees break indifference and settle gently on our hands, that separate and waft into floating isolation to break life's shifting bands. Often I have stood and watched the closing of the clouds and thoughts of sleep, that gentle sleep that captures isolations and weds together all the wilderness that lays beyond our eyes. And when sometimes I see a fallen leaf that's broken from its bough and floated long to the ground, I think of life and then of love and all the circles we go round, all the circles of our death and life, that's where they lie, in that leaf upon the ground. I love to see your floating form break the tranquil leaves. I love to see your hair unshorn float upon the breeze. Oh yes, I kissed the book. And I always read something by the retrospective feature, so I have a poem of Hamish's. But before I do that, I have a very short thing of my own, and I don't read often these days. But with the state of things, I decided to write something about the fires, but nothing too obvious. And this is a short thing called Black Wallaby Burning. Black Wallaby got flames at his back. Rose... That's better. Black Wallaby got flames at his back. Roos dig for water and the snakes are hiding. Fires burn dirt now. Blow up cars from a distance. No need to smoke your death sticks, the air's so thick. The opera house is shrouded in ScoMo fog. Can't see bright and orange light. The snow peaks in New Zealand are stained red. It's a rough one. And now to Hamish. When I read this piece today, Hamish that you sent me, I was very moved. And I must say, Nelson Mandela was one of my childhood heroes, and I actually had posters of him up on the wall. And my mum and dad used to let me send him birthday cards and different things in the mail. And I don't know if you ever read them. Who knows how many he got? But I'd send them, you know. Oh, maybe Nelson's reading this one. Yeah. So when I saw this particular piece that you sent me, and of course your father, it's a very special poem. So I'm very honoured to read it.
Dad chose Nelson Mandela as his trigger to go. He went 5 weeks after Nelson Mandela did. Started cutting down.
So, I had to take a photograph, a screenshot photograph, and this is Hamish Danksbrow's poem, and it's called Vigil for Two Fathers in their 96th year. Gee, I'm having trouble. 95th year. No, I don't need that. This is better. Okay.
Fine.
Now I can see it better. A vigil for two fathers in their 95th year. For Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, born 18 July 1918, and John Royston Danksbrown, Dad, born 6 September 1819. 7 weeks separate two old men approaching the door we will all pass through, and only the younger of them knows from the news that the other is already hovering at the portal just ahead. I feel 3/4 dead today, he said to me this morning, and he returned to bed and placed his walking stick by his side. I just want to walk through that door now without stopping, in a tone of voice that tells me he's nearly died. Then I'm gone. Check that the electricity blanket is turned off. They're both about halfway through their 10th decade, husks of all the history they've just about had enough of, as the few remaining laces of their longevity loosen and fray. And only the younger of these two fathers is still guessing as to when he will stay asleep and no longer toss and snore and worry about what will happen after he has gone away. While South Africa grids itself for Mr. Mandela becoming a Mandala. Here at home, Mum dozes beside her pile of pulp medical romances. She's been reading almost as long as Betty Neal's lived to write them. 7 weeks separate two old men, yet we are all sentenced to being only a second, a heartbeat, a pop-off to drop off with them at the beginning of that end of these closures, and those opening doorways creaking, come hither, before squeaking to a full stop of each life sentence. Yes. And that was posted on the 24th of June 2013.